This is week 5, assignment 5 in programming in C. So as usual, you can see the answers for theoretical question. Let us discuss programming. Right. So this is the first program where I is initialized to 0 and we have do while, and in between we have printf while versus do while slash n. Right. So this is the logic. So whenever we have a do while statement, so the next step after the do is printf. So at least one time the do while statement will print here, and then this will check condition whether the while is equal to 0 or not equal to 0 or any other conditions. But since here while is equal to 0, which means I is always equal to 0, then the condition is always true. So whenever the condition is always true, then the loop repeats itself. Whenever the condition fails, it comes out of the loop. But I value is 0, it is initialized, and here the condition is also I equal to 0. So the condition is always true. So what will happen? This will go again and again and again in the loop itself, which means we'll get a infinite loop of the same statement while versus do while infinite times. And the next one, that depends on continue statement. So in a simple way, whenever you see continue in the loop, which means you see the for loop here, and it opens and closes here. So in the for loop itself, if there is a continue statement, then there will be no output at all when the printf statement is here, which means out of the loop, because the continue statement skips the present input and goes to the next iteration, and it goes on and on, which means there will be no chance of getting output at this point of view whenever the continue statement inside the loop. And the next one, so we need to find out what should be the output. Let us go to the logic. Yeah, so initialized a equal to 0, and if a minus minus plus plus a, then what will print of? So a is equal to 1, so this is a minus minus, which means at first a is printed, which means 1 is printed, and next step if there is any a, then this will be 0, because 1 minus equal to 1 minus 1 equal to 0. But at this step first a is printed, which means the output of this particular a minus minus is 1. So whenever if condition is 1, it is true, so the next statement will be printed. So first is true, prints here. And then if plus plus a, see if it is a plus plus, then this location will be 0. But before writing a value, which means now it is 0 here, right? After this a minus minus is 0, right? So that 0 comes over here, but before that we have a increment operator, which means the 0 is incremented plus plus, which means pre-increment. So what will happen? Before printing 0, the value is incremented once. So here also you will get if a sorry plus plus a is equal to 1, then what will happen? You will get a this statement also printed here. So both statement true and false will print at the output console. I hope you understood. A minus minus is 1, and 1 is here, but after that we have a decrement, which means 0 here. After printing 1, 0. If you have only a here, then this will be 0, because after decrement you will get a 0 here. Okay, and then the output is both true and false. And what will be the output? Again, you see continue statement inside the loop, so this will skips the present step as usual, so there will be no chance to get output of x over here. Okay, so there will be no output here. And how many times I love C printed? 3 times, 6 times, 5 times, or this is an error. So let us take the logic. Yeah. So initialized k value is 0, but inside the for loop k is initialized to 0.5, and we have a updation k plus plus, which means one time it increments every loop completes. So in that case, so for k 0.5, which is the condition is k should be less than 3, that is also satisfied, so I love c is printing here. and the second step it is incremented to k plus plus, which means plus 1. So zero point 0.5 plus 1 is 1.5. Again it checks the condition which is less than 3, so I love c is printed again, and then plus 1 incremented, which is 1.5 plus 1 is 2.5, which is also less than 3, so the output prints. And the next step is 2.5 plus 1, which is 3.5, which is not less than 3, so the loop comes out of the for loop. So how many times? 1 2 3, 3 times your output is printing. And this one, ternary operators. Okay, so ternary operator is an alternative way to write if condition or nested if conditions or if else statement. Okay, yeah, so this is the statement where you can see it clearly. So initialized x is int is x, and x is equal to 4 less than 8, which is one condition, and the second condition is 5 not equal to 1 less than 5 equal to 0, and the condition statement is printing 1 or 2 or 3, either 1 or 2 or 3. We'll understand this logic, right? So first, in if condition, the first if is this one, if 4 less than 8, that is the first condition because of this question mark. So before this one condition, after this the next condition, and whenever you have a colon statement, it is the printing statement, which means if this is true, what will happen? If this is false, then what will be the output of this particular thing? So first thing is, let us check. 4 less than 8, it is true, so true means this will print output is 1. And once it is true, then it will go to the next condition statement. If it is false, then this will print the last statement. Okay, if it is true, in the nested if, it will go inside the next condition. If it is false, that will print the last statement. Okay, so since it is true, we are going into this, and inside this we have a different conditions. 5 not equal to 1 less than 5 equal to 0, this is the second condition. So as usual, according to the operator precedence, first 1 less than 5 is evaluated because that is the highest precedent. Okay, so 1 less than 1 is, sorry, 1 less than 5 is true, so that will be assumed as 1 here. And then next precedent, either not equal to or equal to. Since not equal to comes first, this will be evaluated at first, and then equal to 0. So in that case, 5 not equal to 1 is evaluated, again it is also true, so this will be 1, and 1 over here, and which is equal to 0, that is the next statement. And if 1 not equal to 0, then this will be a false statement. Then what will happen? For false, this will print 0 here. So finally what we have got is 1 question mark 0 question mark 1 is to 2 is to 3. As I said, if this is false, the very first condition is false, it will take the final, which means the last output 3. Since it is 1, we are going into this condition, which means nested ternary. Since it is false, this will take the last value. Okay, if it is 1, this will take the first value, which means if is true, take the first one. If is false, then take the next one. This is the condition. So for 0, it will print 2 over here, so the output will be x equal to 2. And for further understanding, I have given, you can check this in any compiler. So first condition is true, so it goes inside. This is examples. Okay, so whenever this is 1, this will take the first value, but here it is 0. Okay, here, so it takes the second value. Since it is 1, it takes the first value, your output will be 1. If the condition is false, which means the first condition itself false, then it will take the last value, which means 3. So this must be 3. And again, if it is false, again it will be 3, because if it is false, it will not go into this checking the next condition, it will come out of the if loop, which means if else part. So this is false, automatically your value will be 3, and this is 0, As means false, again it will take the value 3. So kindly change this. This is 3 and 3. You can check with any online compiler. So for this case, after evaluation, output of the x value is 2. So output of x value is 2. And so this is a reverse of a number. So in the reverse of a number, how many times the while loop will uh, repeats or iterates, it sends whenever n is not equal to 0, it repeats. When n equal to 0, the loop will not repeat. So to repeat the value, we need this condition, n not equal to 0 here. Okay. And the last one, compute I and j value, where while I less than 8, j greater than 9, the condition will go inside the loop. When this condition fails, this will come out of the loop and print the output. And I value initialized to 0, is j is initialized to 15. And yeah, you see here. So I value is 0 and j value is 15. And according to the problem, this will, I value is incremented in every iteration, j value is decremented in every iteration, and each iteration it will checks the condition. So I is incremented, j is decremented. So 1, 2, 3 and so on, and this will be 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 and 9, 6 and so on. Since the condition is I value less than 8, j value greater than 9, but here j value is not greater than 9, which means after this line 6, 9, this value is 7, 8. In this condition, j value is greater than 9, but here you get 8. So this will take the previous value, which means 6 and 9. Since I value is 6, that satisfies I less than 8, but j value is should be greater than 9, but here it is less than 9. So what will happen ultimately? You will get 6 and 9 as the output. So I value is incremented from 0 to 6, j value is decremented from 0 to 9, not this value. I value is still valid here, but j is not valid here. So both conditions should satisfy in the while statement. If not, that will come out of the loop. So this condition actually satisfies the while loop condition. So you will get 6, 9 as the output, and you can submit the answer.